Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about even and odd functions. So even functions, they're visually, so when we look at them visually, they are lines, line symmetry. So when you have a line symmetry with the y-axis, at the y-axis. And then algebraically, you can write this as, it's right here, algebraically, this is written as f of x equals f parentheses negative x. So you're folding the graph in half. That's what I like to think of it, along the y-axis. So let's look at an example. So let's say we had a parabola on a graph. So let's draw that. And we had our parabola right over here. Or let's draw an absolute value graph. Okay, so something like this and here. Perfect. So when you fold this function, so this side from the positive side to the negative side over the y-axis, so this is this line over here is your y-axis. When you fold it over, this side, the right side of the function is going to overlap with the left side. So it's going to overlap on the left side when you just fold it over. So that's pretty much what even functions are. So let's move on to odd functions now. So odd functions are, when you look at them visually, they are rotational symmetry around the origin by 180 degrees. So visually, rotational symmetry, around the origin by 180 degrees. And you can do this algebraically as, so algebraically as f negative x equals negative f of x. Let's move a little this way. Oops. Okay, so let's look at an example. So here we have a graph. This time let's do the cubic function. So we have something like this. Let's use a different color. So we have something like this. So it's not perfect, but it helps us get the idea. So when you rotate this quadrant 1, so this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. So when you rotate this part of the function from quadrant 1, you're rotating it 180 degrees. So you're kind of folding it diagonally, but not really. So you're always going to end up in the diagonal quadrant when you're talking about odd functions. So you're going to rotate this 180 degrees. So, we can look at what that would look like. So we would have something like this, keep moving, something like this, something like this, until we get to this point. So that's basically what even and odd functions are. So quick summary. So when you have number equaling a number, that's when you have even functions. So one side matches the other. That's when you have number equal to number. So let's say now, let's take an example here. So we want to check points 2 and -2. So here the point on this side would be 2. So 2, and let's do it on this side 2. And then on this side, -2, it's at point it's at point 2, sorry, as well. So number equals number. So it is an even function. Now if it was number equals negative number, so number equals negative number, that's when you have odd functions. Odd functions. So looking at this graph, when you're at point 2, let's say it's about 2 over here. So 2, 2. Whereas here when you're at point 2, I know this is not drawn to scale, but let's think of it going this way, more this way. Okay. Oh, that's worse. Okay, so this is at point -2. So this is -2. So the number, so we have 2 here equals negative number. So negative number, that's when you have odd functions. Now, what if you had number, so number equals a totally different number? That's when you have neither. So it's neither an odd nor an even function. Okay, so let's look at some examples with tables. So let's say we had an x table and a y table. Let's say we had -2. So let's just create that table. So let's say we had -2 here, -1, 0, and 1. And on the y, we have 3, 0, -1, 0. So we're going to be looking at, on the x side, we're going to be looking at the left and right side. So we have to look at the same number. So here we have -1 and 1, +1. So here we see 0, 0. So in this case, 0 equals 0. When number equals number, we have even functions. So this table represents an even function. What about this table over here? When we have x and y, and we have -19, -38 here, 19, 8, 20, 32, 64. So we're going to be looking at the left and right side for the x. So left and right side. Here we have -19, +19, same number. You have to make sure one's negative, one's positive for the x. And then we're looking, analyzing the y side. So here we have -38 and 38. So -38 is a negative number. So when you have number equals negative number, so number equals negative number, you have an odd function. So this would be an odd function. Perfect.